Yo, what's good, people? Welcome back to another edition of Quality Over Quarantine. I apologize for the late start. Like, this whole time, is one of them things, I don't know what time it is ever. I just don't know. And I was literally just sitting, chilling, mixing the track down, and I went online, and I went on IG, and I see Bobbie saying, yeah, man, I'm going to be chatting to Genesis Elijah in a bit. And I was like, wait, what's the time? And it was 10 minutes to, and I hadn't even set up the camera, the mic, or anything. It was nuts. So we're gonna get straight into this without further ado. Let me introduce the one and only Bobbie Johnson.
Hey guys, how you doing?
How are you doing, man?
I'm all right.
Yeah.
Living the lockdown life, innit? I don't even know what week it is, bruv. I don't know what month it is. I don't know what week it is. It's just a long Wednesday. The way I describe it is one long Wednesday, innit? The whole thing.
I was complaining, when it first started, about, I was like, oh man, like, I've been inside for 3 weeks. I haven't left the house for 3 weeks. And one of my friends, she was like, I was in jail for 3 years. This is something like, like fixed up. And I was like, oh yeah, all right, cool.
Legit. I think the one thing I learned is that I could never ever go to jail. Do you know what I mean? I can never do it.
Do you know what?
I'm here in my house and still complaining. Like, see
this. Okay, so this is the thing, So people are saying that if you're an extrovert, then it's really hard on you. But if you're an introvert, it's this kind of like your ideal world. And to me, I'm an introvert, So to me, it's not really hard to deal with. So the only thing I'm missing is I keep saying I miss going to the gym, but I don't think I even miss going to the gym. I think I just miss having a place where I can actually just work out with proper weights, But like I miss going to the shops and getting whatever food I want. Like, that's literally it.
Not having to queue.
Yeah. I'm not doing that.
I don't know. I miss going pub. I'm not gonna lie. I definitely miss going to the pub and seeing my friends and that. But I'd say I'm quite an introverted person as well, to be honest. I've got a little one in there. She's already... I knew she was going to do it at some point. You knew it was going to happen.
I was like, Spider-Man.
This is Layla. She's hyper, man. ADHD. All right,
hey, welcome to the show.
She's creasing. I was waiting I was thinking this girl's gonna troll me. I can tell. I know it's coming, man. I didn't expect it to be within the first 5 minutes.
It's cool, man. I'm glad. We haven't really had one of these so far. We haven't really had anyone jump in the background, so that's the first time for the show.
I know there's bare people creasing right now.
That's hilarious. But apart from that, like, how you been finding the lockdown? I know we spoke a little bit a couple of weeks ago. But how you been finding it?
It's been alright. I think it's just like ups and downs, really. Like, I've been quite productive, like, musically throughout the time. I think, like, I never really, because I work so much, like, I don't get the time to actually sit down fully with music.
Yeah.
I'm always trying to fit it around something. So it's been nice to actually just, like, proper crack on and, like, work on my partner's music as well. Because she's never had the time as well. So, like, yeah, in that aspect, it's been really positive. But yeah, I think each day is different, innit? Like, I think we never know how we're gonna wake up, and you just gotta kind of take each day as it comes. And if you have one of those bummy days, do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter. Like, it's a pandemic. Like, I don't want to like some of the young people, like when I'm still doing like the one-to-one working with young people, like some people feel guilty that they're not doing enough or, getting enough music out. And it's like, bruv, it is a pandemic. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's not put like too much pressure on ourselves to like, make sure we get those done.
I think everyone deals with it differently as well. And I feel like I've been as productive as I can be, doing the things I like doing. So to me, doing music, I don't even really class it as being productive. I know other people do. It's just like you're putting stuff out or whatever. But to me, it's like, it's not. To me, that's not really a thing. To me, it's like it's more of a chore for me to sleep than it is for me to make music. So like, I really like 100%. I really like. I hate going to bed. I'm just like, oh, this is long. Like, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I can never wake up. But I'm just like, but making music is easy. But I feel like at the same time, there's a lot of other things that I haven't been as on point as I thought I would have been with this downtime. So again, I'm just like, it is what it is, man. Like, come out of it, I'll come out of it.
That's it. And I think like it's weird, isn't it? Because at the beginning, like for me, time went so slow. Like it just crawled. Do you know what I mean? And now it just feels like it's going really fast. Like in a blink of an eye, like you said before we started this, it's like 6 o'clock.
Yeah, like that's crazy.
And I feel like I've only just woke up. Like
I think that's
madness.
That's the craziest part of just being like ready to do something and look at the time and really and truly like, right, 6 o'clock. I've only done 2 things today. Like
exactly. Usually you've done a whole day work. Like
I'm like, damn, I've been mixing these vocals the whole day and they're not even finished.
Mad.
Like it's nuts. Big up Messiah K2. They'll be finished. I'm finished as soon as I finish the interview. I'll get back to work, bro. I'm gonna send you these bars. So let's kind of go back. A lot of these interviews, I've kind of been using them as excuses for me to get to know my friends a bit better. And we got kind of our relationship is kind of a weird one in a way because I class you as like one of my best friends, like easily, yeah. But like we're always kind of far away.
You make me emotional, man. I'm already like...
Nah, you know what I mean?
Shed a tear on live.
You know, the realest one. And I think I met you, like I guess years ago. But I don't really remember how I met you. I think I knew of what you were doing before I actually met you. So I think the first time I heard of you was when my brother must have done a track with you or something. And I think that was it. So he's playing your music. I was young, man. I was like 18, I think. Yeah. I was really young, like, and I met Terror selling CDs and then Standard. Yeah, because he was in Brighton. That's how everyone meets Terror, innit? And we just ended up making a track together. And then I think the first time I met you was in Watford, I think.
No, it weren't. It was. Wait, bruv, what's that producer's name? You did an EP with Beeswax.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Beeswax. Yeah.
Yeah, because we did that Raptivism thing. Do you remember?
Oh, yeah.
Time ago. Bruv, I still had dreadlocks. That's how long ago it was.
Me too.
Yeah, true.
We both had dreadlocks.
Oh, God.
That's nuts.
Jokes.
That's nuts. So when did you...
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
So when did you actually... Because obviously you got like... You know what I mean? You don't want to bait things up, but you got a musical family, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, proper.
Come from greatness. Like, when did you get into music, and then when did that turn into hip hop or rap or what it is now?
Yeah, so my parents kind of put different instruments in my hands until one worked. You know what I mean? Because they put me on violin, and that was...
See.
That was horrible.
Why is it funny picturing you on the violin?
Because bruv, I'm just bare heavy-handed. Yeah? I'm like a Hulk. There's no delicacy, like being delicate in me. Do you know what I mean? So then, like, I think my uncle had a trumpet. So yeah, I started on a trumpet, and I loved that. There's definitely loads of tantrums though learning it. And then, like, I think I don't really know how I got into hip hop. Probably like my older sister's CDs and stuff. I remember one of my sister's boyfriends gave me a For Life Cypher album.
Oh, okay.
And, I think that's what it was for me, to be honest. Like, I was just like, I want to say really long words, and just wanted to. Yeah, I loved it, and I just started trying to rap over vinyl. I had like a little turntable. And I just started listening.
There's a mad connection because you're not. Are you originally from Brighton?
No, not from Brighton. I'm from a place called Hitchin.
Okay.
In Stevenage.
Cool.
Stevenage.
See, that makes sense.
Like North Herts.
Because like obviously the Phil Life Cypher, Luton, Hitchin, like you know what I mean, kind of cousins there. So when did you move from?
Yeah, exactly.
When did you move from Hitchin to Brighton?
I think I was like 17 or 18. I moved to Brighton.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think as soon as I could leave home, really, I left. You know, like.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way. If my mum's watching, not in a bad way, mum. I just made a sorry, mum. So I moved down here. But it took me a while to kind of like, I think, pluck up the courage in like the Brighton scene.
Yeah.
Because I met Terror, and then Dead Man Walking. It kind of all of my music stuff I was doing in like Reading or somewhere like that. Yeah. So yeah, it took me a while to kind of like do my music in Brighton, if you know what I mean. But yeah,
that's funny though.
And now
man.
I'm here
because it's like, to me, yeah, you've always been like an established artist. Like in my eyes, I've always from the first time I ever heard you, I was just like, right, who's this? And you was already like already killing it, and then to hear you kind of doing stuff with Deadman as well, like the stuff you did again. Deadman's a bit of he's a funny one, man, because he's like he don't really like a lot of people, innit? So he's like he don't really like, you know what I mean?
Legit.
Yeah, so he don't do this thing because he just does it because he wants to do it. And
yeah, legit.
For him to like, he's a very how can I put it, man? He doesn't really work with the music industry because he doesn't deal with any fakery, any of that stuff. So he's only gonna work with people that he 100% feels and people that he knows is the real deal. So to see him working with you, like, I mean, you just knew something magic was gonna come out of that. And it's funny you say that as well, yeah, because at the time when you met Terror, the Brighton scene was already, I guess, was like top 3 scenes in the country when it came to like to like UK hip hop. So again, like you fitting right into there, just kind of, I don't know, man. It seems I feel like you kind of underrated yourself a little bit, because to me you fit right in with that scene as soon as you were there.
I think I was scared, you know, if I'm being really honest. You know what I mean? Like I was probably just a bit shook, like, because I saw so many like amazing artists, and like I probably wasn't the most confident. I wasn't as confident as I am now, like with my abilities or whatever. Still, you know, like still I have them days where I'm like, I'm shit. But so yeah, I think I was probably just shook slightly, but then like my confidence grew a piece, and then stood on stage.
Because I feel like people need to understand how like my position, or I guess like my point of reference with you and your music, yeah. So I'm a person, yeah, who there's not many people. Actually, no, that's a lie. There's a lot of people that I rate that I think are good, but there's a different level to that. So you're the kind of person. You're the kind of person who'll send me some music, and it will make me just want to quit. I was like, do you know what? I can't even do this. I can't do this no more.
Such a dick. Shut up.
It's the truth, yeah. Because I'll do something, yeah. So like I'll be like, and it's funny as well, yeah. Because obviously I'm a lot older than you, yeah.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean, you're my little sis, yeah. But at the same time, yeah, when it comes to music, yeah, and when it comes to just production quality, writing quality, the way you record, technique, the levels are nuts. And I feel at the same time, yeah, I feel like a lot of people actually they do see that as well. So I'm happy that it is seen. I think the person who sees it the least is probably you, but it's like it's super crazy, because I'll sit there, I'll do a song, yeah, like, and I'll be like, trying to make like an arty sounding song, yeah, and I'll be like, I'll spend all day, yeah, on a beat, and I'll send it over, and you'll be like, oh, that's amazing, and you'll be like, oh, actually, wait, check this, and you just throw something, and I'll be like, oh, okay, all right, cool. It's like, it's the equivalent, yeah, it's the equivalent, listen, it's the equivalent, right, of like a child, yeah, going out to a parent and going, Mummy, look what I drew. And the mum going, oh, that's so amazing. Check this. And then just bringing out like the Sistine Chapel, yeah, like some amazing piece of art. And you're just like, raw, okay. But at the same time, there's certain artists here that inspire, that actually listening to helps me become a better producer, helps me become a better writer. So I just wanted to shoehorn that.
But that's the same with you for me, like especially with barring. You know what I mean? Like I was listening to you from young, and that's the thing. Every time you send me over some bars and shit, I'm just like, bro, why am I doing this? What's the point?
I don't know, man.
But yeah.
It's got to be. There's got to be something in it. It's got to be. I think it's just the way we see each other. Because Terra's the same as well.
Yeah.
Like I hear Terra's bars, and I'll just be like, damn, man. How am I not even the best in my family? Like raw. Like, can I even? This is just it's silly. It's actually silly.
Sure. Yeah, I'm kind of the same with that with Hannah, my sister.
Yeah.
So, whenever she sends me something, I'm just like, for fuck's sake.
We're not going to talk about her. She can have her own interview, like, because she's a whole another beast in herself. Who's crazy artist, like levels. But then again, ridiculous. I feel like I just feel you two are the same, but you just do different things. So it's we
actually did a song together.
Another one.
Bruv. Well, I don't think we ever released.
Is it?
We do another one?
Is this one you sent me? There's one that you sent me with both of you on.
Is it the one recently I sent you?
Nah, not recently. This is probably at least 2 years ago.
Okay, no, it's a new one.
Oh, you're killing me. And the one you sent as well, it's so sick and it's
I can't even remember the one I sent.
I'll play it to you.
Oh, is it that W one?
Nah. Okay. Nah, it's not. But I was vexed because I was making a list of So I've got I had a playlist of like all my favorite songs ever, like of all time, and that was one of them. And obviously the other one that she done that I love forever, that was on there as well.
Lab Rats.
Yeah, that's don't say it, man, because I don't want people to fight. Like I'm so like I'm so protective over that song. Like, nah, not everyone can even listen to it. Like, it's too good. Like, you don't even deserve to listen to it. It's incredible.
I think she's doing it. She sent me a remix of it yesterday. So yeah, I'll send that to you.
Nah, it's like super good. There's just levels to this. So we're kind of jumping all over the place here.
Yeah, sorry, my bad.
Nah, not your bad, my bad. I'm just chatting in it. So
same.
So we're talking about you kind of gaining confidence in this scene, yeah. Mm-hmm. So how did you kind of fit into the Brighton scene? Because the Brighton scene is very much like the London scene. It's super, it's cliquey, but not in a bad way. It's like people are like actually like real friends in the scene.
For real.
So how did you find yourself fitting in, and how did that go?
Let me think back. So I think it was like I started uni like quite late. I started uni like 23, 24, something like that. And then I kind of built up a bit of confidence just from going to uni. I wasn't just like working full time and shit, and I was like around other creatives and stuff. So then I started going to Slip Jam, which was like a hip hop night in Brighton. It was like a legendary night for years. And that's where I met Tom Hines. And then Hinesy. And I think he probably instilled a lot of courage in me. And I started working with a girl called Cara as well. And I think just being around creatives and having other people to bounce ideas off of properly kind of just made things click a bit more for me, and like made me have more of a direction rather than just like, hey, I'm making music. And that's, you know, like getting on stages and really like owning the stage. Yeah. Like feeling, and I think I was ready for it then. Do you know what I mean? It was like at that point I was like actually ready, and I felt like I could dominate a whole space by myself. Yeah. Because I didn't have like a hype man or anything, and like that era then I was just like, I'm gonna, you know, I want to encapsulate the audience. I want them to listen to me. I don't want to just be another rapper on stage where everyone's like fucking chatting and shit like that. Do you think Brighton was like probably one of the best places for you to be able to do that? Just because I always felt like Brighton, obviously we say it all the time, Brighton is a progressive town. And also it's like, it's a real creative town as well. Yeah, fully. And I feel like it's also a place where if you got something, because I feel like your style and just you, full stop, you can never be put in a box. And your style is all it's just different. And I always felt as well that when compared with looking at you through a lens of like
the UK London scene, yeah, because London scene is like super black and white in it, so it's super. It's quite. For the most part, the underground scene is really drab, really dreary. It's kind of just like, yeah, alright, cool. Yeah. I'm not dissing it because, actually, no, I am dissing it. People know where I live in it. Like, say, oh, yeah, it's at that point, I don't really care in it. But there is, it's very different. I always felt like when we did, coming up in the game, when we did our shows in Brighton, in Bristol, in Manchester, in Birmingham, I always felt there was a lot more, just a different vibe, just a way more of a vibe. Yeah. And I always felt like when putting you with like what London MCs are supposed to be like, you always kind of was like, it was like, nah, it's not really fit. It's almost like they're expecting something. It's almost like you're having to play down to what they expect rather than just being yourself. And just I felt like the different scene outside of London gave you that space to just, nah, I'm different. Let me be
for
myself.
Real. I think just away from music, just Brighton as a city and as a person. Do you know what I mean? Like it was kind of my finding myself place. And but yeah, musically, you know, I think there is certain elements. Sometimes I feel like Brighton is an amazing city to like start up in and get on stage really quickly, and you know, Brighton fame is quite easy to like, not easy. You can acquire it quite quickly. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a smaller.
The problem is, but the thing that I think, I wouldn't say just me. I think quite a lot of artists like breaking out that glass ceiling. So like trying to get into other places seems to be a little bit more difficult. I've always
why do you think that is though? Because
I just don't know, bro. I've been asking myself that question for like 5 years.
Because it's mad. Because it's funny as well. Yeah, because like a lot of my favorite artists groups come from Brighton. Like, and I always feel like, how comes in this environment they should be bigger than you are? And I hate saying that as well because people say that to me like, oh, you should be bigger than you are. Alright, what does that even mean? But and it's hard to quantify. But there are a lot of Brighton acts that I look at and I'm just like, nah, you're not even you shouldn't just be a Brighton act. You should be a global act just because of how you are. Like just the level of musicality, the level of lyricism, all that kind of stuff. So I don't know, man.
Yeah, I think I don't know. Like I don't know if it's because we're a small city. There are definitely people that break out of Brighton.
100%.
Firstly, there's loads of artists. I wonder if like the drive, like because it is quite hard to push out. Where it's that momentum thing, isn't it? Like if you've been pushing for years, like I have it myself. Like I've been pushing for years and years and years and years and years, and then you know, like at some point you're like, bruv, you know, you lose that kind of momentum to try and drive you further out. For me, like I just find it hard to get bookings in like other cities where there's already like massive scenes.
Okay.
So they've already got like that kind of community there, like so obviously like you need to get your travel together at least. Yeah. Like it has to be kind of profitable. So there comes that thing of like you might be offered a gig, but you know they're only giving you fee and not travel. So actually, and you got to take your DJ there. So like there might be loads of different factors, like money sides of things, like where you're coming up. It's hard to, you know, sacrifice your rent for your music
100%.
and things like that. So I wonder if that's actually maybe a little bit to do with it. It's quite easy to get gigs in London because, I mean, you can bunk the train. But bunking the train to Bristol or Manchester is a madness. I bunked a train to bloody Newcastle once for a gig, and yeah, that bit me on the arse. So.
See, I can tell you no terror. Yeah, I can tell. Man will bunk a train to Scotland. Like, man will bunk the train to Amsterdam. I'm like, I don't even know how does it even work? How did you do that? How are you bunking trains from country to country? Like,
how does he not get caught?
I don't even
know, because I got caught, bruv.
You can't catch Terror, can you? You can't catch him.
Yeah,
like,
true.
I got a super funny story one time about me and Terror on the train one time. I'm gonna tell it on my tour story show.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I got bare Terror stories. But
amazing.
Yeah, we'll save that for another day.
Mm-hmm.
So in your career, I feel like you've done a lot, and it's been progressing quite nicely from the outside looking in. It always seems like you're doing more. How do you feel you've progressed, and what's the plans for like the next step? What's in your mind to be like, okay, cool, these are the steps I need to take, this is what I want to do bigger than I've done before?
Yeah, so I feel like for me it's been slow, but it's been every year it gets a bit better. Do you know what I mean? But it hasn't ever had this kind of like, yes, it's all fucking happening at once. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's never been that. It's like, oh, this year I've got more gigs. Oh, this year I've got a booking agent. Oh, this year I got this offer. Do you know what I mean? So it's been slow and steady, which does bring that whole kind of like motivation. Like, that motivation is harder to keep sometimes, because it's like, you know, it feels like you're churning away. But like, if I look at where I started to now, I feel so blessed. Do you know what I mean? I feel like, you know, even if I was to stop now, or something was to happen now and I couldn't do music, I'd be like, bruv, I've got a million stories that are amazing, and do you know what I mean? Yeah. Future wise, I kind of just want to like, I want to get in Europe more, man. Like,
I was thinking that today, man. I had that thought today. I was talking to from my interview with Blade. It's just been in my head, man. It's just like, that used to be such a thing. It used to be like, I used to do a lot of European shows, and I actually love them, and I don't know why I stopped. I just, it's like, why didn't I just carry on doing that? And it's something I'm like, it's something I want to go back and do, and I feel like you'd be a perfect person for that. I hate this question.
I did like.
Yeah, no, you go.
I was gonna say, like, was it like, last year I did like a mini European tour, and like, I think for me it was the difference of people being really accepting of music quite instantly. Like, they're just like, oh, it's cool, okay, cool, I'm gonna dance. Do you know what I mean? Like, instead of, oh yeah, it's cool. Wait, are they dancing? Do you know what I mean? Like,
I've never had that. You know what's funny as well? Yeah, like I've kind of had it a little bit in London, but not really as much as outside of London, and definitely not as much as in Europe. Like, I've had times. Yeah, had a time when we were in, I don't know where we were, some far out place. This was in the UK, and we started playing the Dead Man Walking track, Yuck, and the crowd went crazy, and I was like, wait, had they heard this before or something? Like, what's going on? Like,
that's what I mean.
But they were just crazy. Like, nope. And they weren't even hip hop people. These were like metal people, like leather jackets, spikes, everything. And they were just like moshing. I was just like, okay, all right. And I feel like that doesn't really happen over here as much. In Europe, they're way more accepting of it. The question I was going to ask before, which it's an easy question, but I still want to get your answer to it. Do you feel like being a female artist has had some hindrance to your progression? And also, do you feel being a rapper, or rapping more, because you can outbar anybody, and we've had this conversation before. I've always thought, like, if you can sing, don't rap. Do the singing, because the singing's gonna get you places where rap can't take you. So do you feel like the rapping has kind of held you back further than you could be now?
I mean, yeah, in a way, I think. Wait, what's the first question? Being a female. Yeah. Sorry, I'm bad with questions.
No. I'm bad with questions.
I don't think. I'm not sure if being a female has held me back. I think it's maybe given me more drive to push.
I like that.
Especially at the beginning. I think it's always at the beginning, like when you're trying to establish yourself, where the problem lies. Do you know what I mean? Like, of being a woman
Yeah.
spitting, because it's almost like you got to prove yourself 10 times more. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But with the spitting and singing, I think naturally I've kind of more enjoyed writing songs, not bars, like songs, bruv. I've kind of stopped rapping as much, and I don't know, and just got simpler as well. I just realised that half the shit I'm chatting probably no one can fucking understand. So like, just get a bit, like making music a bit more like just for everyone, like people to listen to, trying to anyway, like so I don't know whether the rapping has held me back. I hope not. I might try a singing career next.
Because you know what's funny? I had this conversation with Seasling time ago. Yeah. This was like I think it was when I did my like my warm up session at SBTV, and I remember him saying, like I'm gonna start doing more singing stuff, and and I remember at that time being on kind of the same thing, like like that is it just seems like when you go the singing route, things just become a little bit easier. Your world is kind of opened up more, but at the same time, it's that whole thing of but I like rapping, and I don't want to do something that's not 100% me to get to a place. But again, it's that give and take, I guess.
I think it's like finding that balance of and finding how you make songs.
Yeah.
How like you structure them, how like if you don't want to bars all over it, don't bars all over it. If you want to do some melodic thing, do some melodic thing. If you want it to be weird, make it weird. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's about finding your like I don't know, like your place within music.
Yeah.
Your music.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I kind of lost my train of thought. So
it's cool, man. I like that. I like when that happens. Because then I know it's not just me. I swear, like I'll be doing this whole interview thing. Yeah, it's harder than it looks, especially when you don't write down any questions. Like I come to this with no questions. And then I lose my guest out of nowhere, and I'm just stuck, me by myself. We're gonna get Bobbie back ASAP. But this is for those of you who don't know, right, we got her back. Oh no, we ain't got her back. For those of you who don't know, Bobbie's like, it's so cold. You need to check her music, and again, it's like it's so diverse as well. There's so many different styles that she has. Let me try and get her back. Got ya. I was like, it's so hard thinking of questions, and then your guest just disappears, and then you're just stuck. It's just me by myself.
Ghosted you. I'm sorry, my phone was literally about to die.
It's cool, man. That's cool. So let's talk about this. So recently, or not so recently, actually, for a little while now, you've been supporting Rag and Bone Man. How is that, like, being around him or being around that world? How has that made you see the music industry different, and how has that made you like kind of glimpse your potential differently?
I think for me, it's like, this is what it can, like when you're around someone of that level, it's like, this is what hard work can do. Like, this is what like pushing and pushing and pushing can do. I supported him on tour like quite a while ago now, like 2016 or something. And that was when he was just like coming up as well. Oops, sorry, I played my synth.
I did freestyle. Got a freestyle coming on,
yeah. I think like it was really beautiful, like witnessing that energy of that kind of come up.
Yeah.
Because I think he had just done a Jules Holland or something.
See.
So the crowds weren't like massive at that point. but throughout the day, I only did like 4 or 5 dates. I can't even remember. And like, but each one you're like, oh shit, the energy's changing, and it was sick by the last one. But yeah, honestly, it just when you see that, you're like, yeah. It makes you driven, innit? Let me just that's all I'll say.
It's super nuts, yeah, because I've only like before, obviously did a few shows with him before he was like big, and then had the opportunity to do some tour videos for him, and so I was there. So did a Manchester show, and I was like, "Raw, this is like," he sold out. It was like okay, this is really good, man. And I don't even think, like Human wasn't even out yet, I don't think.
Nah, I don't think it was that one. So
then he did the Scala show, and again it was like at that time selling out 1,000 was a big deal.
Yeah,
and even that year it was kind of like in my mind I was like, if that's the top year, that's sick. Like
trust.
If that's but then at the same time you could just tell, nah, this ain't even. This is the start. It's not the end. This is the last time. Yeah, when you're gonna be like, all right, cool, man's gone clear. And I remember leaving that and just thinking to myself, like, all right, cool, that's a goal. Like, I'm just trying to get to that, like that part there. That's a goal. And not only that, yeah, just kind of like his attitude, because I've been around a lot of people who are big stars, like in that world, and seeing at that point it's almost like you're a celebrity now, and a lot of times you see kind of people change in certain ways, and just to see like his energy to stay the same, and just like super, just him, like he was just him.
Me.
Like to me, I was just like
ranks in it, like
yeah, man. I was just like raw, like it's such a perfect example of like, this is how you should do it, and this is how you should be when you get there, and then the next level is the next level. And again, it's just been like super amazing to watch.
Trust. And I think the sick thing about him as well is that like I think he stays very connected to like Brighton, and like puts people on, and tries to help them. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I rate that about artists that like get to somewhere and then they're like, oh right, yeah, like it took me a while to get there, why don't you come and perform or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think that's a really beautiful thing, and something that people should maintain when they do, even at like small levels. Do you know what I mean? Like, even when I was getting quite a lot of like support slots like in Brighton, and like I kind of just started bringing some of the youngers through, and I thought, you know, like, I think that's the thing to do, is just like put people on stage, like when they won't get the opportunity because it's being filled by that network. Do you know what I mean? It's like, just bring people on, man.
Yeah, trust me, when I go clear, ain't no one seeing me, man. I'm gone. Like, I'm playing, man. I'm playing. But how was the? I don't know if we'll talk about it. You lot went on holiday. You lot went out.
Yeah.
You lot.
Well, I went on holiday.
Right.
It was
Was it like,
wait, which one are you talking about? Which one?
Nah, the one. I don't know which one it was. All I just saw was a private jet, and you remember on there. You get me, like. You remember God. I saw villas. And you know what the funny thing was, yeah? Like, at least, I don't know, man, at least 5 people on my IG was just giving me different angles. I'm like, what? You lot are lit. And it's beautiful as well, yeah, because it's one of the ones, yeah, where you're just like, you're not there, but you're so happy that everyone else is there. You're just like, oh my God, yes, go. You're doing that. It was beautiful to see.
For real, that, like, trip was like, you know, I hope it's not once in a lifetime, but if it was once in a lifetime, you know, it's just that it was sick. It was so sick. So sick.
No, that's heavy. That's heavy.
Took me a while to recover from that holiday. But I hadn't been on, you know, I worked out I hadn't been on holiday for like 7 years before that, and I was like, as if this is my first holiday back.
That's
private
crazy.
jet and shit.
That's crazy. But you are a worker though. You're a hard, like, I've never known you to not be working. Like, you're always working.
I mean, I do work a lot. Probably too much, to be honest, because I don't allow time to do the things that I love doing. So this time, actually, quarantine's been sick for that, because I couldn't, you know, like you can't work. I'm still doing a bit of work like online and stuff, but yeah, it's been nice to actually have some time. Luckily, I got furloughed as well, so
that's getting that money, just chilling. I was gonna say something, but I'll probably get myself sacked. So I'm not even saying that, but yeah, I'm getting paid out. No, I'm working really hard. I'm working really hard. Big up my team. Yeah. Enough of that. So, you're a person you're quite you don't like throw music out there just like,
nah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm a
hoarder, bruv.
Yeah, you got, and I'm not, and that's the thing as well, because I know you record a lot, so
yeah, it's a weird one for me, like, because my sound changes a lot.
Yep.
Like, it can be every few months. It's bare annoying, I'm not gonna lie. So like, I just move on to the next thing, and I'm like, I get all gassed about that, and then I'm like, does that style fit with that style? But I think the kind of stuff I've been working for the last year and a bit, I've been just like trying to get like really good at production and songwriting and mixing and shit like that, to just make the sound feel how I want it to feel. And I think I'm finally getting there. So I've got a few tunes that I'm basically ready to release.
Okay.
Come in. So yeah, it's starting to happen. I'm going really synthy, like I've got synths and that.
Jeez.
I've been lent this one. But
see, like, for real, that's where I'm going wrong. That's why I'm going wrong, man. I got no equipment. All I got is a Mac. I need to like get some.
Yeah, but you can do you know what I mean? Like, in the box is just as fine. I'm just trying to like, I don't know, I feel like with synths and that, like, even if you can just borrow one, they just give a fat sound, bro. Yeah. I geek out over it for hours. Like,
it's super funny because my mum, she used to have a piano, she threw it out, but every time I used to go to hers, I get on the piano and it's just like, even when I'm at the big studio, when I get on the piano, I just come up with like, the riffs are just so much better. They just come so easily. Whereas when I'm on like the laptop, it takes a lot for me to find a sound, because I've got to get the sound right, and it just doesn't feel right. So there's definitely a difference in that. It's funny you saying that about sounds changing, because I get that a lot as well. So I'll go for a period of making a lot of music, loving it, then going into a different sound, and then all that stuff I've done before, I can't then release because it's like, that's the old sound. It don't fit with what I'm doing now. And then that's literally the only time I actually have to scrap music, and it hurts my soul.
Yeah.
But it's just like, it's just what we're doing now, man.
It's a weird one. I tried to like put it down to like the two sides of self, like, or the multiple sides of self. Because like, for my music, I know I've got this kind of hype side that I don't like as much anymore. I'm not gonna lie. Now that I'm older and that.
Older. This girl, older. All right, whatever. Carry on.
No, but it's true. I'm nearly 30, man. Like, I'm feeling it.
Nearly.
But bruv, listen. This year, I'm 30 at the beginning of next year, but this year is literally a leap year. I'm 29 for next year as well.
You're a child. Yeah, the kid, my little sis. Yeah, just leave it at that.
But no, I think like, I'm trying to find like a hype sound in like a more mature way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I've got like these two sides of self. So I'm trying to like figure out how to kind of make them coexist. Do you know what I mean? But I think I'm getting there.
That's another thing as well. I want to touch on. You're like your subject matter. It's always quite deep and dark. Like,
yeah, I know. Sus guys.
But it's like it's I guess it's something that as someone who, I don't know, someone who likes that kind of music, or likes, because when I listen to an artist, I always want to get to know the artist, innit?
Yeah. And
I feel like that's something you do really well. You kind of you put a lot of yourself into the music. How, like, is that something that you feel kind of holds you back from releasing more music as well? Because again,
I think so. Yeah, fully.
there's certain songs I'll never make until I'm at a place where I feel I'm ready to make them, because once you say it, it's like
can't take it back. Yeah, fully, like 100%. I think, you know, I've written a few songs. Actually, like a lot of the songs I've been writing not recently, before the most recent ones, if that made any fucking sense. I basically wrote like a whole EP about love. Do you know what I mean? And kind of the beauty of it, but also the darkness of it, and the trials and tribulations and stuff. Yeah. And I've never really written about love before, so it's actually kind of like a new kind of way of writing, for me, and a new form of expression, because like I'm kind of stunted in that way to actually like express, you know, like true love. I can be quite stunted like in my general life with that, so actually allowing it out fully on, you know, recordings, I think that's why I've been like holding it back quite a lot, because it's like maybe a bit too like, oh, okay.
It's too real.
Yeah,
but it's funny, because
I think I really want to. There's a part of me that just wants to like get it away now. Do you know what I mean? When you're just like, yeah, back off.
But see, as a writer, like I always say, or actually not I always say, but Corinne always says, she's always like, oh, you'll say stuff on music that you won't say in real life. And to me, I'm like, yeah, because music is like, that's where I can just be my true self, innit? And it's
for
like,
real.
It's like saying a lot of those things. I've always done this. I've always said things on record that I wouldn't say, or may not be able to vocalize or to say in that way in real life. So I feel like music is, to artists like us who write the way we write, is super important, because it allows us to do that. And it's
for real.
It's like a safe space for you to put your feelings and emotions out in a way where no one can like cut in or put words in your mouth, and it just kind of allows you to
that.
Let me say,
it's that like most truest form, like when you're listening to music and it just comes out, like that's the most truest form of expression, I think. Like you're not having to, like if you're talking about like, or love, for instance, like in an argument or when you're expressing love, you have time to think about a lot of the time, like what you're gonna do, what you're gonna say, with this, I feel like for me it just kind of comes out, and then sometimes I don't, like I look back and like I listen back and I'm like, fuck, I didn't even realize that's how I was feeling, or you know, that's what I felt about that situation there, because it just kind of comes out. Like I think in life we suppress ourselves a lot, you know, like proper. I think we're just go on.
It's kind of mad, yeah. So like, how has been, because you've been in a relationship for a long time now, yeah, and obviously there's certain. Do you ever feel like that restricts you in what you can or can't say, or what you?
I think at the beginning maybe it did, but I think now, like we're super comfortable, and we like the trials and tribulations that we have had, like we've worked through. Do you know what I mean? Like I think now is the storytelling time. Now is the time to actually express like fully, and it's okay, because I don't think I would feel like any way about my partner doing the same thing. Do you know what I mean? Like expression is really important.
That's the second bit I was going to ask though, because you're both like writers, isn't it? You both make music, so you could be going back and forth, like.
Yeah, maybe one day we'll do like a whole argument over it. A whole album of arguments.
I swear, man. I'm lucky that Corinne can't rap, man, because I'd be getting barred to death. Like, she be coming with battle bars and receipts. Like, my career would be done out here.
Trust jokes. But yeah, I think it's, you got to be able to. I mean, as long as you're not fucking, you know, like proper exposing like some madness or whatever, like, or being just really dread about your partner.
Yeah.
Like,
so that's my problem.
I think it's. I think it's fine. I think everyone should express.
Scene. So are we gonna get? Are we gonna? in this lockdown period, are you planning on putting any music out?
Yeah, so we're getting like a video, me and my sister's song.
Jeez.
We're getting little videos done. She's editing it at the moment.
Sick.
So hopefully that will be out pretty soon. I've mixed and mastered it and everything, so it's pretty much ready to go.
Your mix and master game is crazy as well.
Really? I don't
man.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Some days I'm like, yeah, sick. The next day I'm like, what was I thinking, bruv? This is terrible.
So I was speaking earlier online, and I was saying about the things that independent artists should be good at. And it's funny because like all the things that I'm okay at, you're really good at. So it's like production wise, you're set. You can make your own productions, not just beats. Like you're a producer. Like the mixing and mastering side, just to be able to know your sound. And I think a lot of people get kind of caught up in the engineering side, thinking, oh, I don't know all the ins and outs of engineering. But at its base is really, can you get the sound you want?
Yeah.
Out of your vocals and out of your music.
Yeah.
And I always feel like that's a real strong point with what you do. So you're definitely in a good place, and I think a lot of artists could learn from you or should learn from you. It's just how you put stuff together, man. How you put stuff out. It's
yeah. I think that a lot of what I've been doing for the last kind of year and a bit is trying to just get better, like reinvesting my money into better equipment and like not getting mashed up, you know what I mean? I've been doing like a bit of like sync work as well, like TV music and stuff, and
I love that.
Just trying to like reinvest that money, because you know, like it's not necessarily the music I would make, but it's like the money that I have received, I just put it straight back into like making the stuff that I do want to make. And I think that's the way to do it, is like, and just sit, and you got to sit for hours, isn't it? You just have to sit for hours and hours and hours and find the thing that you enjoy about it and experiment and make things sound weird and then make them sound good again. And I don't know, man, it's a long thing, man.
Speaking of, so going from like the syncing side of things, there's another thing I like to ask artists is, what are you doing with your music outside of your music, to be able to give that longevity to your career, to be able to stay in making music, even if it's not as an artist? Is that something you think about, or something you think about going forward?
Yeah, like I think you have to have a sense of reality with being a musician. Like, as much as, you know, like you should have that drive, like you want to make it and blah, 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 blah. You know, there's quite a high chance that you might not, but that doesn't mean you can't enjoy work within it. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to be super rich and famous. It'd be fucking sick if you were, but like, you know, there's ways of making money, there's ways of enjoying what you're doing. And like, so yeah, I've been doing a bit of sync, and I do like music youth work as well, which I love. Like, probably more than I love that more than music, I think, at the moment, because it's sick, isn't it? You get to, like, a lot of the time I get inspired by them, because they're just, bruv, they're so young, and I'm like, how are you already there? Like,
it's crazy.
So sick. Like,
I was working with this
so gassed, like,
I was working with this young singer at one of my youth one of our youth clubs, who I think when she first started coming, she was 12, and like she's a singer, songwriter, and she's just starting like producing. Like, I'm like, how are you so sick? Like, I don't get it. Like, how are you? And now she's 14. I'm just like, you're coming with lyrics that I've never heard. Like, you're just it's not fair for you to be this good, this young. Like, it's nuts. And I feel like there's so many instances where you find that energy with young people that they're just on another thing, and it's like they kind of bring you back to that first time when you first started making music, and you didn't do it for any other reason other than to make the music. Like, that was the payoff. The payoff was to have, burn my CD, let me put it in my CD player and listen to it on the way home. That was it.
Just,
you know what I mean? And like the only other person who might hear it was Terror. Yo, check this, what I made. You know what I mean? And he'd be the same. Yeah, I made this. Boom, boom. And like to me, that was when it was just the most pure. And it's when you work with young people, you get it again when they're just like, yo, can I listen to my music? And they're going away with their music, and they're just like, they're just super proud of what they've done. Another thing you just mentioned as well, there's so many, this idea that you feel like you're only a successful musician if you make all your money from singing, rapping, making music. But from singing, rapping and making music, there's so many other branches of revenue out there. Like,
exactly,
it's crazy. And it's so many people that don't really realize that. And I tell with my young people, like, listen, man, just stay on this path that of what you love, because there's other little bits that are going to come out of it. So yeah, man, it's a good thing to see. I'm glad that you're working with young people as well, because I feel like the knowledge that you can give them is super valuable, man. Like, and I hope so. It's important to see. No, 100%, man. It's important to see. And again, man, representation is important. So to see someone like you doing what you do, how you do it, is definitely a plus in the game, man. So you say we're getting something. When's like the next full project? Like, stop.
Full project. Yeah, I think I might. I don't know about a full project. You know.
You're hurting us out here, man.
No, because I haven't ever done like the singles thing. I've always worked a body of work. Sorry, it's always been a body of work, and I feel like, you know, with a body of work, something, and especially, you know, like, I've only got X amount of listeners. It's not like thousands of people. Like, things get missed. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I want to like focus the energy on each song this time, and put the same amount of energy that I put into a project into each song, and see if that makes a difference to, like, you know, things getting picked up in certain ways. So that's kind of like my focus at the moment. It's just like, song by song, is it sick? Can I make it sicker? How can I push it the best way with not much money? So yeah, but it will eventually be a body of work altogether.
See, that's a smart way to do things. I did that with the EP. Kind of cheated the system by like putting out one song and it did alright, put out another song that did alright, and it just kept happening. And then it was like, okay, what I'm gonna do is put them all together, and then here's an album. Like, first day up, 300,000 streams. Woohoo! Like,
exactly though. Like, this is the thing, isn't it? It's about working which I'm still trying to do, is algorithms, man, which is bare depressing but also realistic.
Yeah. So, have you had any luck or any joy with the playlists?
Not like you know, like Spotify like official Spotify playlist now.
Yeah.
But it's hard, isn't it? Because it's like, I don't want to make music to get on playlists.
I don't think
which happens a lot, man. If you listen to a lot of playlist music, it's playlist music.
I think the music you make is again, it's just literally the right people hearing it, because quality rise. It's incredible. And again,
gas me up so much.
Nah, man, because
interview like hyped.
You know what I mean? You're in it, like, and it's just and as well, because I always feel like, like, I say this a lot. The music doesn't matter, because the music is like, especially when you're talking about as a musical artist, there's so many other parts that you have to put forward to become a successful musical artist. But at the same time, the foundation is always the music. So that foundation does have to be at a certain level, because that's what's going to give you your longevity. And I feel like everything that you've put out has been of such a high standard that you're really setting yourself up for greatness, because you're going to have a situation. Like I say this all the time. You're going to be at a point where you put something out and people go, oh, that's crazy. Now you're gone clear for real. Then people go back and like, what else have you got? And
I mean, I hope so. I hope that stuff happens, isn't it? Like, I think, like, you do just have to stay as true to like your sound as possible and just work on your sound and pushing it yourself. And you do kind of build up that bit of like a cult following. Do you know what I mean? Like it's less like, you know, across the board and more direct. If you don't fit in the bracket, you know, don't fit in the, don't know the right words, brackets,
the box.
So yeah, but I think it was you that kind of like told me something along those lines. I remember we were in Watford shooting a video, and I was like, I think I said something along the lines of like, oh, but I don't sound like them or whatever, and you're like, why would you, or something like that. I can't remember, but
that sounds like something I'd say.
Drove me to do my own thing. Like I was trying to do like the proper UK hip hop sound, and like the realization of like, you know, I just don't, like, I can do it, but like it just it doesn't actually fit with how I make music, and even what I listen to much anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like my influences aren't coming directly from hip hop no more. It's like to be honest, barely any, like other than like Kendrick and Andre always, like it's like James Blake, FKA Twigs. It's gone a lot more like production-y, weird, singy shit, and then a bit of rap on it. You know?
But I like that, and I'm like a really big, like for me, my thing is go narrow, like go narrow, don't broaden your sound, like go really, really niche, because I feel like, again, it's always you're playing for the long term, and again, it's like this old mindset. A lot of us have this old mindset of I'm trying to blow, I'm trying to be big, I'm trying to get a deal. So you're looking at what is doing it. Oh, I'm gonna do that. And in this day and age, it's something you don't have to do anymore. And I love the fact here. Like I'll find who's I listened to the other day, this guy called Bad Lad, and he's just like, he just screams on tracks, man. He's just like, the production's like trap, but just screaming. And I'm like, someone must have played it to me. I was like, oh my god, this guy is cold. And I'm looking, he's like, every track he drops, a million streams. I'm just like raw, like, you know what I mean? He's from like Wolverhampton or something, and it's like, and to me, I'm like, that's what I love, because no one else is doing what he's doing in his way, and I feel like for artists, that's the way you should go. And it's funny, we talk about working with young people, so I have young people who'll be like, oh, what do you think of this song? And they'll play me a song, and it's like, it's their thing, and I'm like, I don't like it, but I don't have to like it. Like, don't care what I care about. Like, I'm an old man. Like, why do you care what I care about? Your goal, your job, is to murder, like, whatever I'm trying to do, kill that. Like, I don't know. Like, you're coming with a whole brand new energy, and the ethos, I say it in schools all the time, and it comes across a bit wrong. But your goal is to kill the teachers and burn the books. Like, you're not even supposed to even, like, they're teaching you something that you don't need to know about. Like, they're giving you like these old ideas, especially when we're talking about creative outlets and art. You're coming with a whole different energy. There's something inside you that they can't teach you, they can't give you. So when you're putting that stuff down, that's what you do, man. You carry on doing that, and it doesn't matter if I feel it, because you're not making it for me. Do your friends feel it? Yeah, that's it. Like, who around you feel it? Boom, go with that.
And I think it's like a really important thing as well, of like learning that not everyone is going to like your music.
100%.
Like, it's and it's like I remember that point myself, like, you know, not every, like, feeling that thing of like, oh shit, I'm getting dislikes, oh, I'm getting cussed here, oh, this, that, and the other. It's like, brother, it don't matter. Do you know what I mean? 'Cause I'm finding my way of, and people who do like it. Yeah. So Bun, you don't need to worry about.
Nah, and
man. Each generation has different styles of music. Who cusses the next style? Yeah. Like, they're even like, oh, these young ones are on this, or the young ones are like, the old ones are on that. Da 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 da. So like, really and truly, it doesn't matter, because everyone's got their own little bubble genres and bubble listeners.
Exactly. I tell myself, like, there's people that don't like Nas, people that don't like Jay-Z, people that don't like Kendrick. Like, who am I? Like for real, like, it's like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, you don't like them, then I got, you know what I mean? I got no business to be like upset over people who don't like me. It's like, that's cool, man. They don't have to like you. And I was another thing as well, like, especially in this day and age, like, if you're not getting the dislikes, then you're not polarizing enough, and you're not reaching enough people. You need to be in places where you're uncomfortable. You're working with people who don't know who you are, people that are fighting against you, because that's when you get the other side coming forward. And it don't matter if they're hitting dislike or they're hitting like. It doesn't matter. They're all watching the same.
It's a reaction of
either
man. Way. Do you know what I mean? I think that's a really that resonated, man. Shit.
Yeah, man. Dude, we got just that's it, man. We just do our thing. It's been a pleasure talking to you as always.
Yeah, and you.
I feel like we don't talk enough.
I know.
So this
Call
is.
me, bro.
I know, man. I'm so. You know what? So I've been so bad. Yeah, I am so bad at calling people anyway. But this whole I guess that's one good thing about this situation is a lot of people been reaching out to other people and being like, "Yo, how you doing? You good? You right? Cool." And I think It's funny how it only took the world ending for us to be like, yo, you're right.
Legit.
Like it's cold out here, man.
That's what I said to my partner though as well. It's like, I only took a pandemic for you to do your music.
It's nuts, man. It's nuts. But yeah, I wish you all the best as always.
And you, Jim. Been lovely talking to you.
Always a pleasure talking to you. Hopefully we'll get some more music together soon. Actually, wait, I did a verse for you recently, didn't I?
Yeah, mixing it.
Yeah,
it's coming.
Sick.
Coming.
One of them ones. You got me writing about mad things, man. Like, yeah, you get me.
Oh yeah, that was a really deep song. That was part of the older other ones. That
it was about. Like, sheesh. Talking about some old relationships and all that. I was like, okay.
Yeah, legit.
Jeez. But yeah, man. Blessings, peace and love to you. Love to your family. Actually, wait, stay on the line. I'm gonna say goodbye to these lot and I'll say goodbye to you after.
All right,
cool. Guys, thank you very much for linking in, for tuning in, for watching us again. Another episode. I am going to put the link in the video for Bobbie's music. I want you to go check out Bobbie's music. Her music is incredible. Like, I'm telling you, like, I can't gas it enough. Just go and listen to it. But guys, thank you very much for tuning in. Please keep sharing. Please keep liking. Please let people know we're here. This week is a big week. We got a lot of big guests, a lot of big people coming through, doing their thing, a lot of talent. So, you know what I mean? Let people know we're out here. But stay safe. Stay indoors, or as old Bojo was saying, stay in. If you feel like staying in, or stay out if you want to stay out, but don't go out too much, because outside is not inside, but then inside isn't outside. So sometimes you got to be inside if you want to be outside. I don't know what he was saying, but whatever he was saying, good on him. But anyway, peace and love. I'm gone.